What's up guys, welcome to another Smma hack video.
In this video,
we're going to show you how to add 1,000 followers to you or your client's Instagram
without any ad spend.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to this training. Really excited to share with you a great way to grow your personal Instagram account, your business Instagram account, or potentially your client Instagram account. If you find this training useful, be sure to comment #BuildIt in the comments so that we know to create more training like this to help you guys grow your agencies. But the tool that we're going to talk about today is a tool called Combine, okay? So it's COMBIN, and essentially what it is a very lightweight way to automate your Instagram growth, okay? So I have it pulled up here, and there's a number of different pricing plans. You can try it out for free. Would definitely recommend that to get started. You can view search results, up to 50 with 250 daily actions allowed. So definitely a good option just to get started and see how it works for your business. But we've been using this to actually add almost 100 followers every 2 days. Just through spending time focusing on our account. As of the publishing of this video, we're at about 1,700 followers, and that's up from a little bit over 1,000 just earlier last week when we decided to start spending a little bit more time on our Two Guys channel. So if you guys haven't followed us already, definitely check out @2guysbuildabiz on Instagram. We share a lot of other tips and give you more of a peek behind kind of the SMMA lifestyle and the business that we run, so definitely check it out. But without further ado, let's get into the nuts and bolts of this solution, okay? So right now I've got the Two Guys channel pulled up in here, and you'll notice that I'm currently looking at the users. There's a number of different panes with which you can, essentially take a look at what's going on here. You can see who you're following, who your followers are, all the people that you've unfollowed in the past, and anybody that you blacklisted. Additionally, on your followers, if there's somebody that you want to make sure that you don't unfollow, maybe a friend or somebody who might be insulted if you unfollowed them, you can right-click on them and you can add them to the safe list. It's also very important if you're doing it on your personal account and you've got a bunch of accounts that you find a lot of value from and you want to make sure that you don't lose track of or unfollow by accident, that you basically safe list those people before you get started with this. Additionally, what I did personally was all the people that I was following before I started using Combined, I just safe listed as a whole by hitting by basically just going down to wherever I was in my followers list and selecting all of them and then adding them to that safe list, okay? So basically a couple principles to be aware of before we get started. Obviously, if you don't have an aesthetically pleasing Instagram feed, you're not going to have the types of results that we're talking about here. Derek and I spend a lot of time making sure that our feed looks good, putting the same filter, the same contrast, the same lighting, so that basically the whole feed itself looks really good. We've got a nice logo on there, good bio. I'm not going to teach you Instagram best practice in this. I'm just going to talk about the solution, but definitely be aware of those things if you really want to grow very quickly with your Instagram account. So let's go ahead and look at some other features and really get into the nuts and bolts. Another thing to be aware of too is you don't want to go and follow or have this thing follow 5,000 people when you don't have a significant number of followers yourself. So you kind of want to grow with it, which is why I recommend initially starting with the free version. Start with 250 actions a day, follow 250 people. The next day come back, unfollow all those people if they haven't followed you and kind of scale it. Now we're at a point where, again, we're at 1,700 followers, we're following about 800, but I'm going to show you that basically the first thing I do every morning is start unfollowing a bunch of people while I'm also following people. So at day's end, we stay between, I'd probably say, 700 and 900 people currently being followed by the account, so that if somebody comes and sees that we followed them and is going to follow the account, they don't see that we follow 10 times more people than follow us, and that we're obviously just here to spam and try and get followers. So if we go into the search, there's a number of different ways that we can search, and there are a few different actions that we can actually have the system do. So if we add a search, you can go by hashtag or by users, okay? So if, say, you are going after entrepreneurs and you want to attract them to your account, there's two different ways that you would do that. Either you could go by a entrepreneurship focused hashtag like hashtag entrepreneur or hashtag Ty Lopez, and go and follow everybody that has taken that action to hashtag their post with that. or you can actually follow users. So I haven't really found a conclusive way as to which is best. I think that following users kind of pre-qualifies them to at least be liking another influencer in the space that you have something in common with. But going by the hashtag is a great way to use this solution as well. Personal preference, wherever you think your audience is going to be, is the way to go. But for this, let's say, as entrepreneurs, Ty Lopez is somebody who we might have an audience that in common with, right? So let's put Ty Lopez in here, and I'm going to limit the search at 500. And I basically want to make sure that we're analyzing the users when searching, make sure they aren't spam accounts. It's basically going to look at like when was the last time they were active. You can actually add a filter to make sure that the author was active in the last week, so that you know that they're using Instagram actively. I haven't found that makes it work any better or worse, but definitely something to look into. So let's select Ty Lopez. I'll go ahead and search find. Now it's going to go, and you can see on the left hand side here, I've tried a few different hashtags in the last couple of days that are going to pull up, but it's going to go and filter. You can see it's filtering out those accounts that aren't active or don't really make sense. And I'm just going to let this thing run for a while, get it up to 100. But basically my methodology, now that we're over a great threshold of follower accounts, is I will first thing in the morning log into my computer. I will pull up Combine. I will see if there's any activities that weren't finished the day before and let those finish. And then I'll basically select 500 or so people to let it follow during the day. And it's not going to go very quickly. It's going to go very slowly so that it doesn't raise any flags on Instagram itself that your account is doing automated activity or using bots or anything like that. So what I'm going to do, is I'm going to select all these people. Obviously, it's still going to continue to add up here, but just for the interest of this video, I'm going to basically have 100 people selected. And then you can do one of three things. You can either follow the users, which I found to have the best success. You can comment, which everybody's got those spam comments before, where it obviously makes no sense to the post, or great feed, stuff like that. You can always tell when somebody's kind of spamming you. And like. The issue with like is now, if you post a photo, Instagram automatically rolls those likes up and says, one of your friends and 20 other people liked your post. It doesn't actually show those likes as individual line items anymore. And it's very rare that people go and see, who all exactly liked my post. Oh, there's a stranger there, let me check out their account. It's much more likely that they're going to check out your profile if you follow them. So that's the only activity that we really focus on using this platform. So I'm going to go ahead and click follow. Now you can see up in the upper right hand corner here, it's actually going to go ahead and be in progress following those 79 users. It's going to take probably an hour to 90 minutes to get through that. And another thing to be aware of with Combine is once you download it and install it on your computer, it's actually what's called a thick client as opposed to a web application. So that means, if you close your laptop, if you lose internet access, if you, for whatever reason, close this application or take your computer offline, that means that it's going to stop doing whatever activity you had previously had it doing until you open it back up again. So it's a good thing to basically just open it in the morning, use it throughout the day, through all your work, and just let it do its thing. And that way you're going to get those, basically have it run it and do its course and get all those follow and follows done during your workday. So when I get to the office in the morning, I open it, let it do its thing all day long, and then by the end of the workday, usually it's followed and unfollowed about 500 people or so. So as you can see, I currently have a couple other things going right now, so it's not going to focus on this. But if we go to tasks, we can see the different activities that it currently has. So I've got it tracking Grant Cardone, following 377 people, and unfollowing 500 people. So I'm trying to get, basically we're at like 900 right now. I want to get it back down to 700 follows by the end of the day, while still adding people to that. And we can see our search that we just did here under the Ty Lopez. It also tracks stats and stuff like that. The only issue is it's going to track everybody that unfollows, and obviously you're going to have people that see that you follow them. They'll give you a follow, and then you're basically going to unfollow them, and they might notice that and unfollow you too. So it's not really super actionable. The best place to really look for your growth is the actual Insights tab on Instagram Business. So definitely check that out. So again, kind of the process that we follow is we track users. We go in, and another thing too is you can track the same user. So Grant Cardone has tens of thousands of followers on Instagram. So what I can do is you can see that I follow and followed 2,500 people so far. I can come in, use this same search and just refresh it, and then it's gonna go find another 500 people and filter out everybody that I've already followed because I have these filters set up: hide following, hide followers, hide follows, you know, and all this other stuff. So it's gonna filter all of those out. You know, you can see here, it's finding a bunch of people, you know, but I've already filtered out a bunch of people that I've already followed or unfollowed in the past. So it's not gonna do that activity with them again. So, you know, with this methodology, you know, assuming that your feed looks good, you know, spend the time on making the feed look good, and then let this solution kind of automate that growth for you. And take advantage of this period while Instagram is still allowing this type of activity. Obviously, they're cracking down on it. Something to definitely be, you know, on the lookout for is, you know, there's other settings in here that I'm not going to show you where you can actually increase that speed. I 100% would not recommend doing that, so I'm not going to show you how to do that. If you wanna try that yourself and risk getting your account flagged or shut down, definitely go for it, but wouldn't recommend it, and they don't even recommend it, right? So definitely hope this is helpful. We'll see you guys in another Smma hack video. Again, if you found this valuable, comment #BuildIt in the comments. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. We'd love to have you be a part of this channel and this community.